Hi team, I am sitting in my car. I'm a little early to my gym class, which is not per usual of me, but I wanted to pop on real quick because I had 5 minutes and I want to use them wisely. So I posted yesterday a podcast about how to achieve goals, and so this is gonna be kind of like diving right in. So that podcast was really monumental in helping me decide in my brain that there are things that I want to achieve, but I've always been kind of making a lot of excuses about them. And sometimes those excuses are like legit, right? They're valid, but we still make them, and there's always something getting in the way, or wondering like, why does this, always, or why does this thing that I think that I want never really come to fruition? So listen to that podcast, and I've been reading a few different things, and just kind of wanting to make an emphasis of bettering myself, and it just kind of happens to coincide with the school year. And I don't know if you guys ever thought this growing up, but I loved the beginnings of school years. I loved it so much because it was like a fresh start, new begins. You can like reinvent yourself and start over. And so I was kind of thinking that way when it comes to my kiddos and their school year, and like, well, this is like a new school year for me too. So I'm just what are some things that I can work on and just make them a new part of my routine. And so, as I've been thinking and wondering, like, what's the best way for me to try to become, as much as I can, a better person, and more committed, and more concerned about me and myself and my family, and less concerned about what everyone else thinks. So I developed some non-negotiables for me, and it's pretty interesting. I never really thought of it like this, but this is just what I've done for myself. And this is my third week, and so far it's going pretty well. So just wanted to share some quick things for me personally. What are some non-negotiables now in my life? The first one is wake up at 6 a.m. I'm usually an early riser. I think I have been ever since I've had kids, but I've always kind of fought it. And there was, as much as I can to steal a few minutes extra of sleep, I would do it. So I now have determined that every day, besides Sunday is like my rest day. Every day I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock, even if I don't have anything to do that day. And the reason that I do this is because my kids usually wake up around 7, and that hour between 6 and 7 for me personally has been always like so monumental in how I am just a better person. It gives me time to drink coffee, wake up, and read, to catch up on emails and messages, so that when my kids get up, I can be really focused on them from that 7 to 8:15 time when we're getting ready for school. So that's my first non-negotiable. Wake up at 6. It is what it is. I'm up and at 'em, and I'm immediately drinking coffee, so life is good. So up at 6 a.m. My second non-negotiable is work out every day. Now this is for me personally. Like, I know that I have like health goals, and like not necessarily just weight loss goals. I mean, we all have weight loss goals, right? But like just like long-term health goals. So work out every day. So for me, I go to Orange Theory, and that's just what I love and do, and I'm obsessed. But Monday through Saturday, that's just what I do. I wake up at 6, and then I go to the 8:15 class at 8:45 class at Orange Theory, which I'm 7 minutes away from. And that has been so good for my mental health and my clarity. Some days I'm killing it. I'm like burning all of the calories and going at it. And some days I'm walking because I'm tired. But the point is to do it, right? And that's at the end of that time frame, the end of my workout. That's something that I feel really good about. My body is refreshed. The sweat and the tension are like out of my body, and it's so good. So now maybe you don't have a gym membership. Maybe you don't have, maybe you have littles at home still. There are so many ways that you can take 10, 15, 20 minutes to give yourself, to give your body and your mind that time of exercise. So that's another non-negotiable for me. Monday through Saturday, I'm getting exercise done. I'm going to the gym. Hi, Linda. And I'm making that a part of my daily routine. The third non-negotiable for me, which is actually the hardest, believe it or not, is read. I read something that's uplifting, and not just a Facebook feed, but like an actual physical book or a tablet, something that I can actually read and fill my soul every single day. I found that I wasn't ever giving myself any kind of like self-love. I was always doing other things for other people. And so for me, and I think that, you know, I'm having my kids read all the time, and I wasn't setting that example. My husband is an excellent reader. He's a voracious reader. I'm not. It's hard for me to sit down for 10 to 15 minutes or 20 or 30 minutes and have that like uninterrupted time. But that now is a non-negotiable. So every day I'm going to be reading, you know, something, whether it's, you know, something that's religious or biblical or just a fun, whatever it is, for me to take my mind away from the bustle and the hustle of every single day life and read something that's going to fill my soul, even if it's just a nonfiction book, because I think that's good for us too. So those are the 3 non-negotiables for me and I want to get those done every day before 10 a.m. with the exception of Thursday. I have to work out a little bit later because of a networking meeting, but every day before 10 a.m. And then from 10 to 12 is kind of like my business focus time. So that's, I'll take calls and I'll take, do conference calls and work on different aspects of business, closing parties. And that's just really important to me that's also non-negotiable, because I personally can get distracted and meet friends for coffee and go to someone's house or whatever. Like, you know, I work from home and I have a lot of flexibility in my schedule, and flexibility doesn't always do me well. So touching my business for at least an hour to 2 hours every single day, in the scheme of it, that's like no time at all. There's a lot of people who work, you know, 8 to 5 every single day. So the fact that I can just focus for 2 to 3 hours is clutch. So those are just things that I've been kind of thinking about. You might be seeing a lot of like inspirational posts from me. I think I tend to lean that way anyway, versus like always giving you practical business advice, which maybe you want. If you want that more, just tell me. But my heart tends to be more wanting to speak to your guys' heart and soul and your whole body and your whole person, versus just book, sell, recruit. Because personally, I feel like if our body and our mind and our soul aren't working and those are kind of broken down, the book, sell, recruit isn't always going to work the way that we want it to. That's kind of where I come from. So that's kind of, just wanted to share you like where my mind is, and why, you know, there's certain things I've been posting that kind of relate back to that, because I'm trying so hard to become the best possible person that I can be, the best possible wife that I can be, the best mom, the best leader. I really, like, my heart is to just not care so much what everyone else thinks and care more about what I think and the kind of person that I'm becoming. So that's where I am this morning. Thinking as I was dropping the kids off from school and doing a couple things in between, how I want to be the best possible person that I can be for you. And the best way that I can do that is by doing those non-negotiables every single day. So as you go about your day, think about ways that maybe you can stop breaking promises to yourself. And if there are areas in your life that you want to get better at, that you want to grow in, that you want to be the best possible version of you that you can be, think about some areas that you can then mark down as that these are non-negotiables. I'm going to do these every single day, and I'm not going to break a promise to myself, because I'm the most important person to me, right? So I need to make sure that I do these things and stop making excuses, and don't break those promises to myself. Set those goals and do them. So, okay. Non-negotiable number 2 is starting in 2 minutes. So I got to go. Love you guys so much. We'll talk soon. Bye.